You'll often hear that spinach shouldn't be transplanted. So this spring, I'm going to test that. Hi, I'm Jeff for Garden State Veg. This channel is all about growing vegetables in a simple, practical way, especially for backyard and raised bed gardeners. Yesterday, I started spinach indoors. In late March, about 5 weeks before my average last frost here in Zone 7A, I'll plant those seedlings outside. On that same day, I'll also sow fresh spinach seed directly into the bed. 2 methods, 1 garden, and we'll see which performs better. Spinach is usually direct sown for a reason. It develops a central taproot very early. That taproot wants to grow straight down. It doesn't like being bent or cramped. If the taproot becomes restricted in a cell pack, it can stress the plant, and stress, especially combined with warming temperatures and longer days, can encourage bolting. So if spinach is root bound or disturbed at transplant time, it may decide to flower earlier than you'd like. That's why many gardeners avoid transplanting it. But spinach is also extremely cold hardy, and it grows quickly once spring soil wakes up. So the real question is, does an indoor head start actually make a difference? Or will direct sowing perform just as well? That's what we're testing. The variety I started is Bloomsdale Longstanding. Those seedlings will go into one of my raised beds in late March. Right beside them, I'll sow the same variety directly into the soil. If the transplants stall or bolt early, we'll know the indoor start wasn't worth it. If they establish faster and stay productive, then transplanting may have an advantage. Either way, we'll have a clear comparison. I used a 6-cell pack, just enough plants for the test. There's a humidity dome on for germination, but no heat mat. Spinach prefers cooler conditions. Too much heat can actually reduce germination. So these are staying in the basement, a cooler part of the house. Seeds were sown about a 1/2 inch deep, were lightly covered, and then a thin layer of vermiculite on top. Once they emerge, the dome comes off, and then they'll go straight under the lights. Nothing fancy, just steady, cool growth. My guess, the indoor spinach might gain about a week. But spinach grows fast in cool spring soil, so the direct sown plants may catch up quickly. And if transplanting causes stress, the direct sown plants could outperform them long term. Either way, this should give us a fair answer. Now a quick onion update. I'm about 12 days in, and germination has been disappointing to say the least. Less than half the cells have come up, and I sowed 3 to 4 seeds per cell. The likely issue is seed age. These onion seeds are at least 2 years old. Onion seed loses viability fairly quickly compared to many other crops. So while I'll keep whatever I get from this tray, I also started backup containers last night using fresh seed. Instead of individual cells, I multi-sowed them. That just means planting several seeds together in a larger container, and I'll separate them later. The varieties are still in the same category, a yellow sweet Spanish and a red. If these backups germinate better, that will confirm the older seed was the problem. So that's where things stand. Spinach experiment underway. Onions getting a backup plan. If you've transplanted spinach before or dealt with older onion seed, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more practical Zone 7 raised bed gardening videos. And if you'd like to follow along with the results of this spinach experiment, click the bell so YouTube lets you know when that update comes out. Thanks for watching, and as always, enjoy the garden.